Hi everybody and welcome to my video log 5 on agility. This video log will focus on the lateral shuffle drill, in which I will analyse my first attempt of this drill, show and offer recommendations for coaching deficiencies in the technical model, and present an improved technical model of the drill. When referring to agility, it is important to first note the abundance of inconsistent definitions, primarily due to a lack of sufficient research in the field. This has led to subjectivity with regard to technical models and prescription. Shepherd and Young suggest agility is a rapid whole-body movement that combines physical capacities with cognitive skills. However, the trainable physical qualities of strength and power which develop force production and application often sees cognitive components neglected. As such, many agility drills are of a closed nature, only aiming to develop physical components. The lateral shuffle is an example of such a closed drill. The drill involves a fast sidestepping motion through the frontal plane, as shown in this clip. The lateral shuffle has been identified as a movement strategy that is critical to sports performance, particularly in evasion sports of both offensive and defensive actions. It relies on torso speed to optimally position the athlete to execute a subsequent offensive or defensive sporting action, as shown in this clip. Jeffries explains this by identifying agility by three classifications: initiation, which is a preparatory movement such as a false step; transition, which is a movement that places an athlete in a position to react to stimuli, for example, the lateral shuffle; and actualization, which is the execution of a sport-specific action, such as tackling. This supports the need for agility drills to include cognitive skills such as visual scanning, but also feeds a dynamical systems approach towards coaching agility, a caveat I will return to later. This will form the basis of my analysis, in which I will notate desirable actions with green icons and undesirable actions with red icons. It will also provide rationale to subsequent coaching. So here in the start position, you will notice that I am not in an athletic stance, as I present with an upright torso suggesting inadequate hip, knee and ankle flexion. Also notice the position of my feet, which are not wider than my knees, giving me a smaller base of support. As I move into my initiation movement, you will see me take a false step. The purpose of this is to shift my center of mass and apply a lateral force to accelerate me into the lateral shuffle. However, due to my upright torso in the start position, you will see that I have not exaggerated this mechanism to facilitate a rapid movement. Now that I have moved into the transition movement in the form of the lateral shuffle, you will notice that I have recovered a wide foot stance weighted on the balls of my feet, which remain close to the ground. However, as the clip runs, you will see that I do not utilize a sagittal arm swing. Although I do not entirely agree with the significance of this coaching cue being applicable to all athletes, as you can see in this example where it is an unsuitable mechanism to adopt whilst holding a racket. Earlier I proposed a caveat suggesting efficacy in adopting a dynamical systems approach towards coaching agility. Holmberg suggests that the motor ability of the athlete dictates the complexity of drills when coaching agility. This is defined as contextual interference and, as you can see, ranges from low to high, which respectively represent novice to skilled motor abilities. Holmberg also explains the importance of variation when coaching agility, the purpose of which is to develop robustness by ingraining the desired agility motor skill under many constraints. The following clips exemplify a dynamical systems approach to improving the thoughts earlier shown in my start position. Here you will see variations of isometric holds, the purpose of which are to place me in the desired athletic stance in a constraint space setting with low contextual interference. This has progressed to include moderate contextual interference, as seen here where I have included the leg and arm movements whilst maintaining the athletic stance position. And finally, this pattern is challenged under high contextual interference by adding a stimulus. Plyometric training has been shown to develop power and change of direction speed by encouraging the stretch shortening cycle, which transfers to pre-tension techniques as seen in the full step. Here you will see variations of frontal plane depth jumps, progressing from stick landings to reactive jumps. The purpose of this is to develop a more exaggerated full step and to accelerate more rapidly into the lateral shuffle. This comparison shows an improved start position in which I present with a wider foot stance and with greater hip, knee and ankle flexion, resulting in a much less upright torso. This is transferred into a more exaggerated full step with sagittal arm swing. This increased lean shifts my center of mass further, allowing for a much more rapid acceleration into the lateral shuffle. And now that the technical model has been improved, variation can be implemented, as seen in this drill, where each lateral shuffle is followed by an acceleration into sagittal, transverse and frontal planes. This aims to challenge the transfer between the transition and actualization movements and develop a more robust movement pattern.